Good afternoon and welcome to the Region 5 playoffs here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. My name is Austin Urch and I'll be bringing you the action today here alongside me, myself, and I in a great game of field hockey between First Colonial High School and Cox High School. Cox in the white jerseys just got called for a penalty there, so it's First Colonial in the light blue headed down across your screen from right to left, Cox from left to right. First Colonial, like I just mentioned, in those bright blue uniforms, looking to get things going here early as they have the ball around in their defense, trying to keep it away from Cox. The Falcons, who are in hot pursuit, trying to take this one away. Both teams really trying to get on the board here early, as it would have big implications for this match later on. Cox is one of those teams that once they start scoring, the floodgates open and they can really overpower a defense and just put goal after goal on board, overwhelm a defense and a goalkeeper. So we'll see if First Colonial will be able to hang on the initial onslaught, be able to battle back if they do give up an early goal. It's a nice day here in Virginia Beach at the Regional Training Center. Not too chilly, not too warm. Some clouds in the sky, so it's not too bright either. And an early opportunity here for Cox. As a misplayed pass rolled over the end line from First Colonial. Nice job there to steal the ball away for just a moment. Cox still doing work though on offense inside the circle. Shot gets deflected away towards the outside. Braithwaite gets whistled for a penalty. Now headed down the other way are the Patriots through a massive sticks well into the defense. That's Addie Froehlich there for the Cox High School, who's able to retain the ball. The attacker gets whistled for a penalty. Looks like Danny Volpa who gets called there. And the whistle goes against Cox. So First Colonial back in possession. We're just a few moments gone. Neither side really having too much of an opportunity on the board. Cox had that one entry inside the circle. The shot, I don't even think it made its way to the goalkeeper. There's too many bodies in the area. So as this game develops, we'll have to keep a keen eye on the key players for each side. It's a big game here at the Region 5 playoffs. Cox, one of those teams that's so strong almost every single year. We have boards, like poster boards up alongside the field with all the state champions here, and you can see Cox High School again and again listed with 2016, 2018, 2017, 2019. Such a really strong program, and they'll be looking to continue that streak of strong field hockey with this season here. This one is shuffled along inside the circle towards the far side of the field. Cox able to keep possession, but it looks like they a bit too aggressive there. The Patriots win a penalty. Nice attempt by the defender to try to win the ball back, but First Colonial with the ball tripped up. And they'll keep the momentum going far side of the field. That looks like it's Emily Tamaro on the far side as she looks to send that one down the line. But that seems to have taken a deflection off one of the Falcons and out of play. This one is sent up towards the 25. The Patriots swing this along towards the near side of the field. So Jets fly overhead. Cox looking to use their speed on the counterattack. That's Madison Warren who's bringing the ball up from the defense. Warren, one of the team captains here. Class of 21 in her senior season. Patriots bringing the ball up now. Tamaro up inside the circle. Goalkeeper off her line, able to kick that one away. Nice awareness especially early into a contest, just about 5 minutes in. Sometimes it can take goalies a little bit to get settled in. You see that a lot in ice hockey, where the first save, soccer as well, where the first save is a big one. If the goalie can stand up to the task of saving that first shot, they can begin to settle in, settle down, and find their rhythm. As this one is sent inside the circle, nudged along by first Colonial, trying to get that final touch right along the goal line, but couldn't get it done there as it falls out of bounds. Still with the ball, though. Here's Anna DeLong. Out to her right, Sammy Faro. Nice job there to retain possession. As they're going inside the 25 now, trying to find a way inside the circle. Very good look there for first Colonial, one of their biggest chances so far here in the early goings for this contest. Still scoreless. About 6 minutes in. Cox deep in their own territory, looking to break out. Able to get that pass high over a lot of the midfielders. And it looks like they're on a breakaway here. Sophia Birch on the near side. A good job there by Olivia Tamero to take it away. Cox still in possession though. Goalkeeper on the ground. And a penalty corner coming up here for Cox. So there was a bit of a commotion right along the end line. With the first opportunity here for Cox, Lauren Boucher will send this one in towards the top of the circle. Swung on. Number 15, Emma Schwartz there, who took that shot. Off target. Boucher moving forward. Ball in her stick, looking for a teammate to lay one off to. Couldn't quite find it, but not too much of a problem. Touched along very nearly there. Have to be so aware when you're playing defense, and especially goalie. Be so cognizant of all the defenders and potential for sticks to get in the way, any redirections on the ball. As Boucher sends this inside the circle, and it's brought down by one of the Cox attackers. Boucher to restart and quickly earns herself and her team another penalty corner. A great chance to capitalize here about halfway through the first quarter. Birch and Spear on the near side of the circle. Up top is Schwartz. Alongside Zella Bailey. Boucher sending it in again. Up to the top, it looks like it's Bailey, or Schwartz actually, who took that shot, deflected out of play. First Colonial in possession on the restart. Going to travel up through the middle. That pass is picked off. A penalty against Warren. Warren winning a penalty. Boucher restarts. Schwartz just outside the 25. Trying to keep possession. Taken away by DeLong in light blue. Unfortunate there as Warren couldn't quite get on the end of that pass on the restart. Would have been a nice chance for Cox to move down the near wing. But instead it's Lauren Hedspeth on the restart. And she'll head down the first Colonial left wing. So that one's just out of play by Cox, it looked like. A chance for them, though, to reset defensively, bring those midfielders back, help out inside the 25. As first Colonial looks to mount some pressure here. Nice move to get past the defender. But a penalty brings the ball the other way. Cox trying to break out now. Good stick positioning by Tamero as well as Braithwaite. Both of them still locked up in a battle here. Along this near sideline, both teams preferring to start the attack on the near side so they can continue to get that coaching instruction from their coaches, which are just on the opposite side of the sideline. There's a chance here now inside the circle, sent up towards the middle. First Colonial trying to poke this one in. Up towards the top of the circle, whistled for a penalty. Cox is quickly headed down the other way, trying to begin a counterattack. That's Megan Spear using her speed in white, trying to catch up to this one. The defender gets there first and is able to bring the ball out. Down the far sideline, the ball goes. First Colonial just trying to keep it in, but the second too late there as the ball skipped over the sideline. Lindsay Arsenault, another one of the four captains here for Cox, trying to send the ball down the line. Unsuccessful as that flies up just a bit too high. And it's the Patriots who will continue to have possession here down in the Cox end of the field. Just over 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Both teams still scoreless. This game being brought to you by Shine Time Power Wash and Paint. They're your turnkey solution for all power wash and painting projects. Eco-friendly house washing, roof cleaning, decks and fences, interior and exterior painting. Big or small, they do it all. So visit shinetimeinc.com for a free quote today. Once again, that is shinetimeinc.com for a free quote today. As now it's Cox who's inside the 25. Ball being carried forward by Drum. Takes a swing at this one, trying to bring it back across the middle. That attack is snuffed out. Her pass a bit too high. Open a dangerous area for the players here. And it looks like that pass might have caught one of the girls from Cox. Is currently hands on her knees. Umpire heads over to check her out, make sure she's all right. That's Megan Spear. She seems to be doing okay. She might head off just for a couple precautionary measures. Glad to see she's able to jog off on her own power. Onto the field now is Emerson Miller, number 13, taking her spot. Spear, one of those players who wants to be back out on the field as soon as she can. Mentioned her just a couple moments ago, using her speed down the far sideline as she tried to catch up to a ball that was placed there on a counterattack. Defender had about 10 yards on her. By the time they both reached the ball, she was only a yard away, so definitely with a speed advantage on that far side of the field. First Colonial, we have to be very careful of her speed as well as the Cox passing as they're able to intercept another ball inside the middle of the field. Schwartz bringing it up. Has some help on both sides, but she doesn't quite need it. Able to lay it off now to Miller. That one's taken off her stick by the defender. Looks like it's Meyer. Winning it back though, Braithwaite. Inside the circle, up towards the top now. Shuffling it along is Bailey. That one's poked away, great defense there. So keen on the poke check, timing it almost perfectly. It's so, you have to be so careful defensively when you're sticking your stick towards the ball in an attempt to win it back. Any penalty inside the circle could spell disaster here, especially giving away the opening goal in the contest. Bringing the ball up is DeLong. Trying to find a teammate. That one just a bit too far out of the reach of Emily Tamero. Boucher, a great pass to try and find number 2, Sophia Birch, right in front of the goal mouth. Let her stick a couple inches too short as she couldn't get on the end of that one. In a couple of the previous contests this season, you've noticed that Cox likes to use a lot of through balls and try to split defenders. As time expires here in the first quarter, still scoreless. I'll continue my thoughts after a bit of a break here when the action resumes at the Regional Training Center. These games being brought to you by Shine Time Power Wash and Paint. If you need to get your pool deck ready for spring, call the pros at Shine Time. Clean your concrete or pavers, rust stains, no problem. Shine Time has you covered. Visit shinetimeinc.com for a free quote today. So we're going to step out here for just a moment and be right back with the rest of the action in the first half. Both teams headed back out onto the field. The umpire signals that's the start of the second quarter. Still scoreless here. First Colonial 0, Cox 0. This highly anticipated tight matchup here in the Region 5 playoffs. Cox looking to get things started here quickly coming out of the gate. Almost trying to blitz the Cox defense, catch them off guard as they have possession well inside the 25, just trying to find their way inside the circle now. Able to do so, but a penalty will bring the ball the other way. Talking a bit before the break about how the midfield and attack of Cox can be so dangerous. They lull you into that false sense of security by bringing the ball back into their defense, almost daring the opposing team's midfielders to move up the field and try to fill the gap, only for a quick through pass to completely cut them out of the play and almost make them useless in a sense, as they're well behind the play and it's an odd man situation down in the attacking end of the field. We'll have to see if First Colonial will be able to manage that here. So far they seem to be doing really well as they've held Cox scoreless. Not too many teams here have been able to do that, especially in the first quarter of a game. Cox, one of those teams that really comes out quickly and puts goals on the board, and once they do, it's really tough to get back into a contest when they can put so many on the board so quickly. Boucher at her own 25. Brings things towards the near sideline. Looking to shuffle it along to Tamaro. Tamaro has Birch, trying to find her now. Olivia Tamaro is able to get there first and bump that one over the sideline. Olivia and Emily Tamaro, I believe twins here on the First Colonial roster. Being a twin myself, it's always something that you like to see. Inside the circle now, the Patriots have it, swing it outside. Try to clear the ball, taken back though by Bailey. Now here's Braithwaite. That one rolls over the end line. And that attack seems to screech to a halt. Putting the pressure on now. Cox defensively up inside the 25 of First Colonial. Trying to force a turnover, force a mistake, and capitalize on it here. Just a couple of minutes inside the second quarter. Nice job there defensively by Tamaro, Emily Tamaro, putting her stick parallel to the ground, making sure that no passes got past her. Quinn Braithwaite brings the ball back. Madison Warren. Back to Braithwaite. Birch. Out of play. Braithwaite again, trying to go a bit too quickly maybe. Umpire tells her to slow things down, bring the ball back after the penalty. And now on the restart. Touched away by a defender. Nice job there by Hedspeth. Able to poke it away. The Falcons momentarily slow on the attack. We'll see if they pick up the pace as they try to cultivate something here as that ball slips over the end line. So they'll bring it about 25 yards the other way. Boucher back towards the center. Trying to find a way herself, but too many blue jerseys in the area. She gives away a penalty. About a 4-on-1 situation it seemed right there. And against those numbers, of course, that leaves quite a number of players open on your side, but still too many shirts in the area. Close down all of the angles and make it all but impossible to get a pass away. A chance now down at the other end. Sent inside the circle. Cox able to take it away. It looks like it'll be a penalty corner here, the first of the contest for First Colonial. Cox having 2 in the first quarter. But obviously unable to capitalize on either of them. This is the first of the contest for First Colonial, and we'll see if they'll be able to put the initial goal on the board. Top of the circle here, shuffled along to the right side. A swing and a good save by the goalkeeper. Turns that one away. Boucher trying to bring the ball out, gets to the 25, but 2 blue jerseys stop her only momentarily. She's able to pick up a penalty, and now streaking down the other side is Megan Spear. Megan Spear, who is out for just a moment after it seems like the ball caught her. Couldn't quite see where, but she headed off the field just to make sure she was okay. And she showed off her speed there. Just couldn't quite get on the end of the pass. Both sides still looking for that opening goal here in the first half. Plenty of time. About 38 minutes at least left in regulation. As the Falcons seem to be able to take this one away. For just a moment inside the 25. Looking to send it on up towards number 2, Birch, but that pass off the target, out of play. It'll be the Patriots' possession. Up towards the near side. Here's Olivia Tamero. Unable to handle the pass was her teammate Jolie Day on this left wing. Setting up the Falcons with great position here so far. The First Colonial doing well to take the ball back whenever they can. Still moving up, Bailey inside the circle. And a big stop there for First Colonial as they do well not to give up a penalty and not a penalty corner either. So that was right in front of the goal mouth. Stand strong defensively. Some clean play as well. Birch heads off the field, taking her place, Elise Unger. Nice stick work there to keep the ball from Kelly Taylor. Pair of whistles and a bit too physical of defending there for Cox. But the errant pass on the restart turns the ball over. Boucher headed down the near sideline, has some assistance from Unger, who just made her way onto the field. A fresh pair of legs now, the ball at her stick. Looking towards the middle, picked off by Payne, I believe that is, in the defense. Now being double teamed, able to find her teammate though. Unfortunately, Hedspeth just got a bit crossed up, but not too much to worry about. So there's another player down there in light blue, aggressive defending. And it seems like that'll be a penalty there, but that's got to be something you like to see out of your players. If you're a First Colonial coach, being so aggressive as an attacker, trying to win that ball back and set up your team with a great opportunity. Day with the interception, back towards the middle. Taken off her stick though. Headed down towards the right side of the field, Schwartz. One on her back, looking for some help. Just outside the circle, trying to find a way in. She's able to do so, dancing along the edge. Still Schwartz. That pass ricochets up towards the opposite side of the circle. First Colonial trying to take it away, urged on by her teammates. There's Olivia Tamero. Just make sure that she's clearing the ball and getting it out of the circle. Cox with possession, moved along towards the middle. Right side of the field, that one rolls over the end line. Good look there for Quinn Braithwaite. That one was just poked away by a defender. Boucher up towards the middle. Far side of the field, tucked along into the back of the cage. Opening goal of the contest here for Cox High School, up by 1 in the Region 5 playoffs. Looked like it was Quinn Braithwaite who was able to put that one in over the end line. A nice setup by Boucher, finding a teammate on the far post, able to make a quick move around the defender. Looks like that might have been Spear. Goalie overcommitted to the right side. Nice keen pass to find the near post, the then far post. Braithwaite wide open, able to put that one in. About 5 minutes left in the first half. And you get that go-ahead goal that can sometimes kickstart your offense, and you've seen that so much with Cox once they start scoring. The floodgates open. We'll see if they can continue here with just about 4 minutes remaining. As Spear tries to get on the end of this one with Braithwaite. Payne trying to keep them away. Rolls over the end line. Possession for First Colonial. Payne looks to go back across the center, but thinks twice of it. Tamero. Back to Tamero. The Twins there getting in on the action together. Taken back, though, by Cox, up by 1. That goal coming from Braithwaite. Now here's Drum. Inside the circle, looking for room to shoot. Whistle blows from the umpire. Penalty against Drum. First Colonial restarts the action, but sends it up a bit too far out of reach of their midfielders over the sideline. And Cox looks to mount another attack as they have this currently in their defense. Swinging it around the back. Trying to create some movement in the midfield, able to find Boucher, who beats her marker. Now up towards the middle, Bailey inside the circle. Keen takeaway by Olivia Tamero. Triple teamed and brought down. Back on her feet though, and it looks like we'll see a card here, a green card, the first of the contest. 2:52 left in the half. That'll go against Zella Bailey, so Cox will be playing a woman down here in the closing moments of the first half. But despite the numbers advantage, or rather the numbers disadvantage, they're still looking to go forward on the attack and put a brace up on the board. We'll see if First Colonial will be able to get that tying goal, as that pass is given away. Nice job there by Emily Tamero to win it back. Send it up towards the near sideline. Jolie Day moves it along as well. Intercepted, though, by the Falcons' defense. There's a takeaway there by Addie Froelich. Penalty is this one. Caught Hedspeth a bit too high, up above her knees. Now First Colonial looks to move down the field. About a minute 20 off the penalty. First Colonial with a player advantage, far side of the field. Great interception to take it away. Drum trying to win it back. Defender stick handling too strong for now. Is now getting some assistance in the double team. Cox is able to win the ball at the 25. Really nice job there defensively again from Olivia Tamero. Doing a phenomenal job helping her side out as the penalty expires. You can see Bailey back out onto the field. Olivia Tamero really putting in the work here this afternoon for the Patriots. Trying to minimize as many chances as possible for the Falcons. Doing a really great job as well. Seems like almost every single attack that comes her way, she's able to deal with it, take the ball away, and get it out to a teammate. About 20 seconds left to go here. First Colonial trying to find something in the dying moments of the half. They'll have to move quickly as it's now under 10 seconds inside the circle. Moving it along towards the middle. Cox just trying to hang on here. The whistle blew before the horn sounded. So it looks like it will be a penalty corner coming up here. The second of the half for First Colonial, second also of the second quarter. None so far for Cox, and the time expiring, it seems highly unlikely that they would get one in here in the second quarter. But what a chance this could be for First Colonial if they're able to equalize. Up towards the top of the circle. Moved along to the right side, just out of the reach. Out of play, and that'll do it here for the first half. First Colonial can't quite capitalize on a late opportunity on a penalty corner. But Quinn Braithwaite's go-ahead goal for Cox puts them up by one, headed into the halftime break. This game being brought to you by Shine Time, Power Wash and Paint. If you're putting off those painting projects around the house, don't stress. Leave it to the pros at Shine Time. Full interior and exterior professional painting services. Visit shinetimeinc.com for your free quote today.
DQ rotisserie-style chicken bites. I love you just the way you are. I never thought unbreaded chicken this good was possible. Your oven-roasted 100% white meat chicken is 100% perfect to me. Finally, chicken that is tender, juicy, and flavorful all by itself. Or dipped in ranch. Or on a salad. Or in a basket with fries. Thank you, DQ, for giving me just what I needed. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Nobody cares for more young knees than CHKD Sports Medicine. Our specialists, surgeons, and physical therapists work together to develop treatment and training programs that get young athletes back up to speed safely with the strength and confidence they need to stay in the game for the long haul. CHKD Sports Medicine. Care today to last a lifetime.
Welcome back here to the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. My name is Austin Urch, and I'll continue to be bringing you the action here between First Colonial High School and Cox High School. Cox up by one after one half of play. That opening goal coming with about 5 minutes left in the half. Coming from number 8, Quinn Braithwaite. Set up by Lauren Boucher, able to play a long ball deep into the circle. Up towards the far post. If I'm not mistaken, it was Megan Spear who's able to redirect that ball back across the mouth over to a wide open Braithwaite, who tucked it away almost all too easily for the go-ahead goal of this contest. So we're about to get set to start the third here in Virginia Beach in the Region 5 playoffs. Both teams looking to advance here. Only one will be able to do so. Right now it's looking like it's going to be Cox, but First Colonial making a really strong case for themselves. They haven't had too many offensive chances, but they've been doing a really nice job limiting that of Cox High School down at the other end of the field. Their defense has been very strong. A key name that we've been saying a lot here over the broadcast is Olivia Tamero. She's been so keen to take the ball away at almost every single opportunity when it comes to her side. Able to find a teammate and begin a counter as they break out of their own zone. We'll have to see if her play continues to stand strong here defensively. If it'll be the offensive capabilities of First Colonial getting them their first point on the board, making this game all squared away. As Cox is currently in their own territory, they'll swing it across towards the left side. Lindsay Arsenault trying to pass the ball up, taken away. Keen takeaway by Taylor. That pass deflected off the stick of Arsenault, up much too high. So Taylor will restart things. The near side of the field in that corner. Squeaks out over the end line, off of Arsenault's stick. Restart coming up momentarily from First Colonial. Looking to find the corner, but intercepted by Spear. Both sides battling for possession now. So it rolls over the end line. Break there for Cox as they had a really fortunate break towards the very end, rather, of the first half. Just before time expired, First Colonial earned themselves a penalty corner. An errant pass meant that they couldn't capitalize on the opportunity and would go into the halftime break scoreless. It was a brand new 15 minutes here. 2 of them already underway and in the books. Still in the attack, though, the Patriots. They'll bring this all the way across to the near side of the field. Moving it down the sideline. To go back towards the middle. It's whistled for a penalty. Sammy Farrow on the restart. That's Emily Tamero along the end line. Good takeaway by Arsenault. And she forces that one out of play off of Tamero's stick. Bring it up from the back now is Hattie Froelich. He looks to go up towards the middle. A high arcing pass is brought down by the Patriots in the middle of the pitch, and they're going to look to swing it out towards the near side. Trying to switch the field. Go across by the spectators. Attendance is a bit higher here for the Region 5 playoffs. A few more faces out here than during the regular season. Of course, everyone being socially distant, observing the policies from the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, wearing masks and making sure that they're staying spread apart, with members outside of their family. Is now inside the circle. Boucher takes a shot, and she scores. Or did that one just go wide? Looks like it just went wide. Unfortunate there. He couldn't quite see whether that bounced off the wood behind the goal or in the goal. Cox still at 1. A chance, though, for Boucher, just coming up short. Frustrating penalty to give up there if you're Em Schwartz. It looked like she just ran into a First Colonial defender, knocked her over, and halted the attack for her team. They're able to win the ball back soon enough. Arsenault brings it down the near sideline. Back towards the middle from Schwartz. And a keen takeaway there. It looks like it's Tamero. Trying to find Finley Payne, unable to do so. Out of play, though, not a problem. Taylor's there to bring it back in. Trying to find her way into the center. A good interception by Bailey. Bailey had a green card with about 2:52 left in the first half. Taking quite a trip there with the ball on her stick. She's able to cross the middle of the field, across the 25 as well, before finally being slowed down inside enemy territory. Boucher winning the ball back off to her left side. Cox doing a nice job moving the ball around. Just trying to find another opening. Boucher here inside the circle. Could we see her take a shot? She does, off the defender's stick, out of play. Nice job there, Allie Burnett getting in the mix of things. Able to disrupt the attack from the Falcons. They look to hold on here, not wanting to concede another goal. Go down 2-0 against such a strong team like Cox. Bailey will bring it back to Arsenault. Sends it forward. Nice stick there, breaking up the play. So another penalty against First Colonial, and their defense as they just keep handing Cox these opportunities again and again inside the 25. That one gets deflected right in front of the goal, off to the side. That shot off the target. First Colonial will restart things on the far side of the field. Nice stick, able to take that one away inside the circle now. Taking a shot just off target. Another great chance here for Cox as they're continuing to have more and more opportunities as the quarter moves on. Just about halfway gone inside the circle, winding up for a shot towards the center, but thinking twice as there were a couple of defenders in the area is Schwartz. That pass too high, even the goalie jumping couldn't reach that one. Trying to break out of their zone now are the Patriots along the near sideline. Taken away by Boucher. Lauren Boucher. Double teamed, and it looked like it'll be a green card here against First Colonial. If I'm not mistaken, that's Anna DeLong who gets whistled for a penalty. So now it's Cox's turn with the player advantage. We'll see if they'll be able to convert. First Colonial unable to do so, in fact almost giving up a goal to Cox when the Falcons were outnumbered. Now Boucher brings it back across towards the right side of the field. First Colonial in those white jerseys, green numbers with the gold trim. First Colonial, the light blue jerseys with yellow trim as well. So now looking to break up the field past the halfway line. Taken away by Schwartz. She'll swing it back up top. Goalie steps out of the way and lets this one roll by. Good awareness. Ball back inside the 25 of First Colonial. Nice movement there. Able to get the ball away up towards the middle of the field. A bit of a hook there as the sticks get tangled up. First Colonial still moving the ball forward, trying to keep going despite being a player down. Here's Payne. Inside the 25, penalty goes her way. So they're trying to move quickly here. Just about 10 seconds before the penalty expires. And Cox will be back at even strength. Over the end line, Boucher will collect and restart. Unfortunate there for the Patriots as they weren't able to capitalize. But nearly having an opportunity right at the end of that penalty. We'll see if they can continue the pressure and momentum with about 5 minutes to go. First Colonial as another green card is handed out to a Cox player. This time, about 4:45 left in the third. And that's to the goal scorer, Quinn Braithwaite. Scored the opening goal about 5 minutes left in the first half. Getting a bit too aggressive there, giving away a penalty. Boucher trying to exit the zone. Being tangled up with the Patriot. As Emily Tamero gets whistled for a penalty, she gets a bit too physical. Inside their own 25, it's Boucher who gives up a careless penalty. Great chance for First Colonial. Moving the ball now, top of the circle, just outside. Defender falls down. Just outside the circle there. Fortunate that it wasn't a couple few feet closer towards the goal. This one right in front of the goal mouth. Bit of a scramble there. Fortunate for Cox to not give up a goal. It's going to get so chaotic right in front of the goal with so many bodies, so many sticks in the area. All it takes is one mistake and one deflection. And the teams are even here, but Cox holding strong defensively. So holding the Patriots scoreless. It's now inside the 25. Moving the ball up low and on the ground inside the circle. Penalty corner coming up here. First Colonial, first of the second half for either side. And a big chance here to get on the board, tie things up. It'll be Jolie Day who's lined up on the end line. And quite the ring of players here for First Colonial. Looking for a quick setup and a shot. That one takes a deflection, and that one's in. However, it looks like the umpire whistled that there'll be another penalty corner here. The ball did go in the back of the cage. There must have been a penalty before against Cox. First Colonial will try again. Looks to be the same idea. They'll shuffle along to the right side. There's an avenue, good stick though, right along the ground. That was Zella Bailey who turned that one away. How unfortunate does it feel if you're First Colonial? You have to keep your head in the game though, keep pressing forward. Sometimes calls go your way as this one is low, up right in front of the cage, turned away by the goalkeeper. Just over a minute left here in the third. It's now deep in their own territory. Time eating away off the clock. That was Bailey who was dancing there right along the end line. First Colonial in possession, outside the circle trying to find a way in. Looks like that one hit Boucher, and it did. Whistled for a penalty, 40 seconds to go. Quick restart. And how unfortunate there again. If you're a Patriot fan, that one just getting caught up in the feet of Kelly Taylor on the quick give and go. First Colonial, 15 seconds left here in the third. Trying to come up with something after a really strong third quarter. How unfortunate is it, though, that they just don't have anything to show for it on the scoreboard. They have had quite a few chances, but nothing really amounting to anything here. Cox still up by one in the Region 5 playoffs as we head in to the fourth quarter. This game being brought to you by Shine Time Power Wash and Paint. Who likes painting? Shine Time does. Residential, commercial, interior, and exterior, they do it all. Visit shinetimeinc.com for your quote today. We're seconds away from the fourth quarter here in the Region 5 playoffs. Frank W. Cox High School up by 1 over First Colonial. That goal coming at the very tail end of the first half. In the second quarter, 5 minutes to go. Number 8, Quinn Braithwaite, able to put the go-ahead goal and only goal so far on the board here in this contest. A fresh 15. First Colonial looks set, ready to go here. Had quite a few chances. Pair of penalty corners towards the end of the third quarter. As they now try to lock Cox deep in their own territory. Couldn't quite cut off the sideline. And it's a chance here to move up the field. Unfortunate as it's dribbled over the sideline by one of the midfielders, M. Schwartz. It seems like First Colonial had that tying goal, but unfortunately, there must have been a penalty on the play that the umpire saw, which called it back, and First Colonial took another chance on the penalty corner, unable to come up with anything, though. It was a strong defensive play. It was Zella Bailey who put her stick low on the ground and able to cut out the key pass. There's Cox inside the circle, a dangerous area there. And a whistle from the umpires. He's looking towards the bench of one of the teams. Couldn't quite see which team it was. Not quite sure what that was about. But play resumes here. Cox on the attack. Moving forward. That pass intercepted just for a moment, though. Still moving forward. Penalty corner coming up here. Just about 90 seconds into the into the fourth quarter. Opportunity to extend the lead. Boucher, top of the circle, passed along, great save there from the goalkeeper, still in a dangerous area. Keeper gets on top of this one, and a great save from First Colonial's last defender. She's able to turn that one away with her feet. A really nice job making sure that it's just a 1-goal lead here this afternoon for Cox. Still on the attack, though. First Colonial will come out of their own territory now. Cox attack in midfield is looking to put a vice-like grip on the Patriots, force a turnover here if they're able to do so, and they are. They win the ball back, double teamed now. That was Schwartz trying to keep possession. She's able to do so, pass along towards the top of the circle. Patriots take it away though. The attack unsuccessful, couldn't even register a shot. Now down the near sideline, again intercepted. This time it was Lindsay Arsenault, one of the 4 captains here for Cox High School, who made the key play. Nice run there from Payne, but just couldn't quite find a teammate to play the ball to, and she runs out of real estate, forced to turn the ball over. Too many white shirts in the area. Boucher up at the middle of the field, moving along to her right. Ball still on her stick. She's at the 25 now. Penalty brings the ball the other way. First Colonial on the counter. They don't quite have numbers, but we'll see if they do have speed here. That one taken away by Warren. That ball just got a bit too far out in front of the attacker. I believe that was Emily Tamara who was bringing the ball up. Tamaro again. This time it's poked away. Defender Arsenault gets there in time. Had the right idea. Moving up now near sideline. Inside the circle now. Cox trying to get a shot off. Just off target though. Cox looking for that brace here as the pass goes awry over the end line, it seemed. Or rather, penalty against Cox. First Colonial back in possession, but they can't hold on to it for long. The defending from the Falcons has been so strong this afternoon, especially in the third and fourth quarters. They've been limiting any opportunities that First Colonial has tried to have coming out of their own zone, their own 25. Now inside the circle, they're struggling to win it back. They're able to do so. And now it looks like they have a chance. Again, defender's able to get there first. A whistle, though, against the attacker. Couldn't quite see who it was. Looked like it might have been Payne. Extending her arm there into the defender. But they win the ball back. Both sides trying to fight for possession here. Really exchanging the ball back and forth with each other. Either side able to get the upper hand. Cox has to be okay with that, because they do have the goal advantage and they do get the penalty called in their favor as Boucher will restart the action here just inside her own half. 7.5 minutes to go, just over here in the fourth quarter. A little bit of a slip there, and the pass off the mark coming from Stevie Drum. First Colonial bring their defenders and midfielders back now, trying to sit back and absorb this Falcons attack so that they can hopefully set up and get an attack of their own down on the other side of the field. Nice movement by Tamero. That was Olivia Tamero. Pass back across the middle of the field. First Colonial trying to maintain possession. They're able to do so. Great job there. Inside the circle now, across the center. Goalkeeper dives, doesn't have to make a save. Close chance there for First Colonial. They come up empty. There, First Colonial showing some signs of life. They're not going down without a fight. They've been fighting all game here. They've just been getting closer and closer as the game goes on. Maybe if there was another 15 minutes, they most definitely would have a goal. But unfortunately, there's only 6 remaining. We'll see if Cox can hang on to their 1-goal advantage, possibly get another on the board. Or if the Patriots will be able to get their first of this game. This is Cox inside the circle now. Goalkeeper off her line. Knocks that one away. Does well to keep it in play. A keen eye from the umpire who's right along that end line. Signals that it was carried out of bounds. Cox restarts. Finds Boucher. She's got some room. Too many defenders, though. Locked in battle just inside the circle. Patriots come away with it, far side of the field, deep in their own territory. Back across towards the center. Kicked away. It's a penalty corner here for Cox. And right now, each of the quarters has had 2 penalty corners, both going to the same team. In the first quarter, it was 2 for Cox. The second and third frames, it was both for the Patriots. Now here in the fourth, it's 2 more for the girls in white as they lead as this pass up towards the top of the circle, sent across towards the middle. Well out of a dangerous area. Nice defending there from First Colonial. Both teams have to be all but flawless here in the final 4.5 minutes of this action. Here in the Region 5 playoffs, one of these teams will be advancing. Right now it looks like it could be Cox. But First Colonial certainly trying to throw their hat into the ring, because they don't want their season to finish up here. They definitely need an equalizer, and they have the capable players. They've had chance after chance, but they haven't been able to capitalize. A couple penalty corners went their way. But a great goal line stop from Cox denied them of that game-tying goal. But here's that penalty corner for the Patriots, their first of the fourth frame. About 3:45 to go. And that'll be the defense of the Falcons who's tested. Also in this situation, you have to be a bit wary if you're First Colonial. If Cox is able to withstand the attack and bring the ball back down the other way, they do have the numbers advantage on the opposite end of the field. Payne brings this one in. Nice stick work, top of the circle shot. And that one's right into a defender. Headed off the field is Sophia Birch, taking her place as a teammate, moving over to the far side of the field. Here's Spear. Schwartz battling with Faro. Schwartz is able to get the better of her, move inside the circle, sends a pass high across inside the circle. That one is touched over the end line. Crisis averted there. Shot from Spear Goalkeeper had the angles covered as that shot goes wide. Really there, they really want to test the goalkeeper, make sure that you force them to make a save, especially so late into a contest. As Boucher slips, loses her footing, hands the ball over. First Colonial, 3-on-1 situation inside the circle. That one caught up in the feet of the defender, Arsenault. Not a lot she could do there. Giving up a penalty corner, probably best case scenario there for Cox, other than a first Colonial mistake. A great chance here, under 2 minutes to go in regulation. First Colonial looking for that equalizer late into this contest. The Region 5 playoffs, once again, one of these teams advancing, both teams fighting so hard here. Jolie Day brings the ball in, top of the circle. Moved along towards the left side. Bit of miscommunication there. It wasn't a clean play for the Patriots. Cox with possession back down the other way. First Colonial still fighting here, 70 seconds to go. They win a penalty. They'll look to continue their movement down the field as they just about to cross the halfway line, and they do. But quickly go back onto their own territory. Kelly Taylor now up right side of the field. And Finley Payne just couldn't quite hang on to that ball. Fortunate break there for Cox's. We'll see if First Colonial will be able to tie them up deep in their own territory. Cox sends the ball down to the opposite side of the field, using up as much time as possible. This one thankfully rides right over the end line instead of getting caught in no man's land there, forcing one of the First Colonial defenders to pick it up. Time winding down. Moving the ball outside their own 25, far side of the field. Olivia Tamero bringing the ball up, running out of real estate. Hands the ball over. Cox in possession. Under 10 seconds to go, 5 seconds to go. Looks like Cox will be moving on by a score of 1-0 after such a hard-fought battle here in the Region 5 playoffs. The lone goal coming from Quinn Braithwaite, 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, proves to be the game changer, difference maker. The game-winning goal, Frank W. Cox High School moves on to the next round of the Region 5 playoffs. Such an incredible battle between two such strong teams here. It's a shame that one of them had to have their season finish. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Austin Urch, and I look forward to bringing you the next round of the Region 5 playoffs right here from the Regional Training Center in Virginia Beach. Thank you so much for tuning in to this game brought to you by Shine Time Power Wash and Paint. Who likes painting? Shine Time does residential, commercial, interior and exterior. They do it all. Visit shinetimeinc.com today for your quote. Cox advances by a score of 1-0 over First Colonial after a great game here at the Regional Training Center. We'll see you next time.
Nobody cares for more young knees than CHKD Sports Medicine. Our specialists, surgeons, and physical therapists work together to develop treatment and training programs that get young athletes back up to speed safely with the strength and confidence they need to stay in the game for the long haul. CHKD Sports Medicine. Care today to last a lifetime.